Welcome dear students to today's session on product life cycle. I am Dr. M. Ruben Anto, Assistant Professor from the Department of Maritime Commerce, who is going to be handling this particular session. So, what is a product life cycle? So, what is a product first of all? Anything that you sell, anything that is available in the market for you to buy is essentially a product. So, as you all know, all products you are not going to, you will be seeing that the products tend to keep on changing in the market. They do not tend to stay the same, they keep on changing. So, what is that? So, that is what we are going to look into today, what is called as product life cycle. Each product has its own life cycle, each product has its own highs as well as lows. Every product goes up as well as down in terms of sales and as terms in terms of demand also. Okay. So, this if you ask whether this product ups and downs are going to remain the same for every product, definitely not. Why? Because each product tends to have a different length of product life cycle. Even though they tend to go through the exact same stages that they are in, but the exact nature or the exact time frame in which they tend to stay differs for each product. For example, let us take an electronic item, let us take a phone for example. What happens for a phone? It is an electronic product where its life cycle is going to be short. Previously it was like let us say 3 years before a new smartphone launched in the market, where it has a higher or what you say called as a flagship model. But now we can see that the flagship model is coming every 6 months. So, what happens? A 3-year life cycle for a smartphone has been reduced to essentially 6 months. So, in the same way, previously if for example, a product that enjoyed a very long life cycle, for example, would be an ambassador car. It had been there for entire decades without major modifications to it. It had been there for decades. Only a few years back it came to a halt. Hershey's chocolate bars. These bars for hundreds of years it has been essentially the same. They have not changed the formula, they have not changed the product remains the same. So, it has not gone through the exact same life cycle. So, as you can see, certain products tend to have a shorter life cycle, whereas certain products tend to have a higher life cycle, but even though they have the same, they tend to vary. So, we will go into the various stages of through which the product goes through in the next slide. So, this is a typical product life cycle where a product starts off with a lower strength. This tends to be the time in which it enjoys in each stage, and this is the corresponding sales that it has for that particular period. For example, before this stage there is one stage called as developmental process. Why I have not included developmental stage here is because during developmental stage the product is essentially not available in the market, but as a company I would be spending money to develop the particular product, but I will not be having any revenue. The revenue is going to be 0 as well as the sales also is going to be 0. So, the revenue and sales will be 0. That is why I have not included that particular aspect in the slide. But when we talk about product life cycle, it includes the developmental stage of that particular product also. Okay. So, developmental stage, as I told you, there is not going to be any revenue, there is not going to be any sales, but as a company I will have to invest billions of dollars to develop that particular product according to the needs of that particular market. So, in the beginning it is called as something called as introduction stage. The first stage of any product introducing into the market is called as an introduction stage. During this stage, as you can see, the sales will be low. Why? Because no one is going to be aware of that particular product. The market awareness of that particular product is going to be low. So, people will not be knowing what that product is, when it is going to be introduced or when it was introduced and what is its purpose. They will not be knowing that. And when a new product comes in, we always have something called as a hesitation to try out that particular product, unless and until it is something developed by a major brand. For example, the same example I come again, the smartphones. Okay, for example, let us say iPhone launches a new smartphone, Apple launches a new smartphone. What we do? We immediately line up the queue to buy. Let us say some other company launches the same smartphone, a company that has not been heard of before. We will be little bit hesitant, but if the product tends to be successful, then we might be able to, we will be eager to buy that particular product. But when we introduce that particular product into the market, we will not be ready to take that particular product. So, during this stage, normally the sales is going to be low. It is not going to break even, at least it is not even going to cover the cost of production for that particular product. Okay. So, when I sell a particular product, the high cost per customer, it is going to be, the customer cost is going to be on the higher side, it is not going to be on the lower side, and I am going to incur financial losses because I am not going to break even. My cost, my marketing cost, my manufacturing cost, my production cost, everything is going to be on the higher side, but there is not going to be prevalent sales coming in to generate revenue for that kind of a market. And who are going to try these products? Only innovative customers, customers who tend to experiment, customers who are ready to experiment with new products. They are the ones who are going to be willing to get this particular product. They are not going to say, well, let us, for example, a customer who is conservative in nature is not going to try that particular product. A customer who is innovative, a customer who is ready to take risk is who is the one who is going to take that particular product. And as far as the competitors are concerned, the competitors are going to be low or nil or non-existent, because that particular product is new in the market. No one else has launched that particular product in the market. The particular product is going to be free in the market without any competition. Okay. So, after this introduction stage, what happens is we go through something called as the takeoff stage. Takeoff stage is exactly, anyone who has traveled through an airplane would know that the maximum amount of thrust is used to take the plane up. So, like how engine is run at this maximum capacity to make the climb for that particular plane, as far as a company is concerned, it has to use its maximum resources at that particular point of stage, where it has to grow. So, the advertisement cost is going to be high, whereas the sales will be picking up slowly. As you can see, this is the sales line. The sales line is going to be picking up slowly, but it will be gradually increasing. But in order to sustain the growth, what as a company I will have to do is, I will have to put in maximum trust, I will have to put in maximum effort into it. I have to make advertisements, I have to promote the product. Okay. So, that is what is called as takeoff stage. So, during the after the takeoff stage, we reach something called as a growth stage. This is where my sales start to steadily increase. So, I increase the sales because we have established into the market, product has been accepted by the customers and they start to buy. So, here we will be looking into detail during each stage, what is the company's responsibility going to be, what is the kind of a marketing aspect, what we are going to do, we will be looking further in. We will just go into the brief side in this particular slide. Okay. So, the sales will be increasing, and as you can see, the cost per customer falls down because the sales is increasing, my revenues is also going to increase. So, this starts to balance out. So, the amount of energy and the amount of money I am going to spend per customer is going to come down, it is going to gradually reduce, and I can also see my profits rise, because as the sales increase, it is going to be revenue is going to increase. So, when the revenue increases, gradually my profits also, I break even and I start to realize some profits, and number of customers who are going to consume the product is also going to be on the higher side. And when, as in any product that is successful, when I introduce a product in the market, when it is becoming successful, what happens? There are going to be competitors in that particular market. There are going to be new competition coming in. We have seen in so many things, so many aspects, so many products. For example, call taxi. Okay. So, any product that you take, when in the beginning it will be one product, but once that particular product starts to gather sales, increase in sales, what happens? Everybody wants a piece of that pie. So, what happens? They start to increase, the competition also start to increase. So, here is what growth stage is all about. Then comes in something called as a shakeout, where I balance out, the my growth starts to decrease, my sales starts to decrease, and but I still, even though I am growing, my growth rate and sales growth rate is going to be on the lower side. After that, I reach something called as a saturation or maturity, that is the peak. Maximum amount of sales for that particular product is going to be during that particular amount of time. Okay, that is what is called as maturity. So, what here I have recovered all my cost, I have recovered all the cost that I put into developing that particular product. Whatever I sell is going to be of a profit for me. Okay, so, the sales peak, the cost per customer is going to be at its lowest, because I already recovered my cost. The only cost I am going to incur right now is my manufacturing cost, because I already recovered my developmental cost. So, the only cost that is going to be there is manufacturing cost, and because of that my cost per customer is going to come down, and during this stage my profits are high. As you can see this, when the sales peaks, the profit also is going to peak at that particular stage. And as far as the market is concerned, my product is going to be available throughout entire market. It is going to be a mass market rather than a niche market. And the number of competitors, the new competitors who came in during the growth stage, many people would try to take a piece of the pie, but not everyone will be able to establish during that particular stage. So, what happens during the maturity stage, all the weak competition, all the lower level competition would be wiped out. They will start to fall back from the market, and only standard and stable competitors will be there in that particular market. And as far as this is a time when you have to decide what you are going to do with that particular product, whether you are going to renovate it, re-innovate it, or whether you are going to let it to decline. Okay. So, after that comes your decline stage. So, the decline stage, what happens is, a product cannot sustain in the top position for a very long time. So, gradually what will happen? It is going to be outdated, it is going to be irrelevant in that particular market, and it is going to decrease in sales. So, when the sales starts decreasing, we call it as a decline. So, during this particular point of time, sales start to decrease, the cost per customer is low, but still, because I have already recovered all my costs, the cost per customer remains low, but I am not going to, at the same time my profit is also low. Even the cost per customer is low, because of the declining sales, my cost per customer profit is also going to be low. And the number of competitions, as you can see, a product when it reaches its decline, that competition is also going to go everywhere, anywhere where there is high demand, there is going to be high competition, but when the demand declines, the competition is also going to decline. So, this is what is all about in the different stages. We will be looking into detail of each stage at the later slides. As I told you, this length, this time frame in which each product stays, for example, the introduction stage, or growth stage or maturity or decline. The time frame in which that product stage depends upon entirely upon a particular product. For example, as I told you earlier, electronic products would be going up this line in a faster stage, but certain products like chocolates or whatever it is, chocolates of or the example that I gave you of the Hindustan Ambassador is going to enjoy a lot of period in this particular area. Okay. So, the length is going to differ, the length of time for each product life cycle is going to differ for each product. Okay. We will look into the each aspect, each stage, what are the aspects, what are the companies going to do in the next slide. Okay. So, during we have seen the different stages, now we will look into detail what are the aspects as far the company is concerned, as far the product is concerned, what they are going to do during this particular stage. So, during the introduction stage, the company seeks to build a firm product. They want to develop the awareness of that particular product in that particular market. Okay. So, as I told you earlier, any product that is being introduced into the market, they will have to establish themselves, they will have to create awareness among customers, because they will not be knowing. As a customer, I would not know that this particular product is available in that particular market. What does this product do? I might know, okay, this particular product has launched. For example, let us say when iPhone launched, people might have known what, okay, Apple has launched something called as an iPhone, but what does it do? What is its purpose? What is the usefulness of this particular product? They will not be knowing. So, as a manufacturer, it is my job to create awareness among customers to ensure that they get to know what it is, what that particular product is, what its particular use is, what its particular intended use is going to be. I use the word intended use. Why? I will come to know about the meaning of that intended use later on. I will tell you, explain it to you later during the chapters. Okay. So, what I do is I create a product branding and quality level is being established. So, when I introduce a particular product into the market, I have to establish this is my quality level, this is my standard of per product. You know, when I say certain brands, you would be immediately recollecting certain thing. Let us say for example, Mercedes Benz. When I say Mercedes Benz, you know that it is of a high standard, it is of a luxury market. The same thing when I say of a Maruti car, what you say it is you come to recollect it as a budget manufacturer, a car which is fuel efficient and a car which is for the masses. When I say Rolls Royce, you know it is a uber luxury car which only a few can afford. So, I establish my level as the product here remains the same, the product here is the car, but the established level of each product, each car is different, each quality is going to be different. Okay. So, as a manufacturer, I have to decide what particular level of quality I am going to use this particular product in, where am I going to establish. It can be on the lower level, it can be on the mid level, or it can be on the higher level, or it can be even higher. But I have to decide, okay, this particular product for this particular price point, I can be able to maintain this particular quality. And you have to maintain that particular quality. If you are not maintaining that particular quality, you are going to lose customers. Okay. So, after that you go in for intellectual property protection such as patents and trademarks. So, when you are introducing a product, you do not want everyone to copy it immediately. You do not want to establish that particular product and let someone else steal the show. So, what you do to protect yourself, you apply for patents, you apply for trademarks in order to protect yourself, so that no one else enters that particular market in that particular time frame. Okay. So, that we have to establish a quality level and we have to establish put in product branding. So, iPhone, when I say now, it is clear in people's mind. Okay. So, when that is the case, it has been established as the company is Apple, but when I say Apple, it is being associated with, even though Apple has many other products, you easily associate it with iPhone. So, iPhone is an established brand, Apple is an established brand. Okay. So, you have to establish your product branding. Okay. So, as far as the pricing is concerned, that is an entirely different topic, but we will look into the major aspects or major types of pricing that can be used during the introduction stage. There are two levels of pricing that majorly used during introduction stage. The one is low penetration pricing to build a market share rapidly. In recent times, a perfect example for that would be Reliance Jio. Why? They gave it free. Why did they give it free? Because they wanted to penetrate the market and they gave it at a very low price. When everyone else was selling data for 1 GB of data per month for 250 rupees, they started selling the same product for per day. They gave 30 GB of data per month, whereas the established standard was 1 GB data per month. They gave the same amount, same price, they even lesser price they gave for 30 GB, and 1 GB data instead of a month they gave it for 1 day, and in starting times it was even 4 GB or 3 GB per app according to your plan. Why did they do that? That is called as penetration pricing. Because I am introducing a new market, new product into the market, people will not change over easily. I have to motivate the consumer to buy my product. So, in order to motivate the consumer to buy my product, I price my product very low, even unremarkably low, where I do not even get a single penny. That is what Jio did. So, what they did, because of that particular aspect, because of that particular standard, now they have become a market leader where they dictate the price for that particular product. They were able to penetrate that particular market, that is called as low penetration pricing. So, because they have used low penetration pricing, they were able to gain market share rapidly. Within a short period of time, when all other telecom companies are losing money, Jio is posting profits. Why? Because they use penetration pricing to capture the market. Whether that is ethical or not is a different question, but this is a marketing technique widely used by manufacturers, used to penetrate the market to gain market share, where there is established players already available in the market and my product will not be easily taken over by new consumers. They will not be able to willing to test. Nobody was willing to get a new phone mobile number, but because they offered free, the people were ready to go, and with the advent of dual SIM phones, it all time matched for them, so that they were able to capture that particular market share, and that is called as low penetration pricing. The next pricing is high skim pricing. So, it is an exact opposite of low penetration pricing. Low penetration pricing, we saw that the product is going to be offered at a very low price or an unreasonably low price or no cost at all. But as far as skimming pricing is concerned, I make use of the new product craze. The perfect example for that would be any electronic items and especially smartphones. What they do? iPhone, when they launch, or any smartphone that they launch, any flagship that is being launched, what they do? They price the product very high, because they want to use the new product vibe. They want to use, this is new in the market, I am proud to own that particular product. I say, okay, I got a new iPhone, okay, I am able to, that particular goodwill feel that is being used by the marketer to make me buy that particular product when I at a very high price, even though the manufacturing cost of that product is going to be very low. Let us take for example the iPhone that is currently available in the market. The cost of the iPhone is going to be nearly 1 lakh or 1.5 lakhs, but the manufacturing cost of the same phone is only going to be around 20,000, including all developmental costs. So, what I am able to do? I am able to get the money within the short span of 6 months, when my product is going to be viable, when my product is going to be new. I will charge a very higher rate so as to recover my developmental cost during the short time frame. Instead of me selling 10 iPhones, I can sell one iPhone and recover the money that I used for developing that particular product, which is further going to be used to develop new models. Okay. So, that is called as market skimming pricing. I only want a few people in the market to buy the product, but I will be charging them a premium to own that particular product. This is can be established in products like smartphones, where electronic products where they become outdated quite easily. Okay. And as far as the distribution during the introduction stage is concerned, I will not have a wide distribution network, because my product is going to be launched and my product is going to be new. I cannot establish the cost of developing a distribution network countrywide or worldwide is going to be high. So, what I will do, I will select few markets where I think my product will be viable the most, where I will be able to sell my product for the higher amount of price, or where I will be able to establish my product in that particular market. Okay. So, I will select the particular market and I will establish only in that particular market, rather than establishing the product worldwide or countrywide. I will use selective customers. I will use selective customers because I am only going to target innovative customers. I am not going to target the mass market or all other customers. Okay. As far as the promotion is concerned, it is going to be aimed at innovators and early adopters. So, I will focus my advertisement, I will focus my energy in advertising for the innovators as well as the early adopters who are ready to adopt my product, who are ready to experiment with my product. For example, the same smartphone, if I say, who are going to be willing? Only youngsters who are going to be willing to experiment with new products. So, what I will be focusing on them alone, or people who are ready to buy that particular product, rather than using my money to advertise the product to an entire huge market. I focus my energy on a smaller group. Okay. And marketing communications, as far as marketing communications and other promotional activities are concerned, it is about creating product awareness. As I told you earlier, people will not be knowing what this product is, they will not be knowing what this product is going to be used for. They know that it is a phone, or they might know it is okay, overall they will know. So, they will not be knowing what is the speciality of it or what is its specific use going to be. So, what I will be doing is, I will be spending money and energy in promoting the product by creating awareness of that particular product. Yes, this particular product is there, this product is going to be used for this particular feature. Okay. For example, let us say photography, this nighttime photography is going to be brilliant in this particular phone. So, I use this kind of a strategy. So, the next stage, as we have seen earlier, is the growth stage. So, in the growth stage, we have already seen, the sales are going to increase, the market share is going to increase, and I am going to have competitors coming in. So, during the growth stage, as a firm, I would like to increase my brand preference, because new competitors have come in. People have to select my brand, because previously there were no competitors, there were no one else in that particular market, no products were available in that particular market. So, I was enjoying a free rein, but now since competitors have come, I have to say, instead of this particular product, I have to make the consumer buy my particular product. So, I have to increase the brand preference and increase my market share, so that I can become a market leader. And as far as the quality is concerned, I have to maintain the same level of quality I maintained during my introduction stage, because due to word of mouth, people would be saying, okay, this product is of this particular quality, it is very good. So, I have to buy that particular product. So, when I reduce my quality, what will happen? They are going to be disappointed customers, and that is not good for sales. So, I have to maintain that particular quality. And in order to differentiate myself, differentiate my product from others, what I will do is, I will add additional features and increase my support services. So, previously, because the product was unique, I did not have to add any features. So, now what I will do, I will increase my features, I will increase my accessories or features or whatever it is, I will try to increase them in order to differentiate the particular product from other products available in the market. As far as pricing is concerned, I will maintain the same price, so that I will enjoy the market the revenue that is being generated, because the sales is in an increasing stage. I will not reduce my price, because I want to earn more profit. I will be because this is not going to sustain, I will be able to enjoy the increasing cost because the competition is going to be little, because new players will be starting to emerge. They will not have entered into the market, they will be starting to emerge and they will not have established a product well. So, I will be enjoying a superiority at that particular point of time and I will be enjoying a maximum revenue at that particular point of time. And as far as distribution channels are concerned, with the increase in demand, I should also increase my distribution network. My product should be made available elsewhere also, not the same small market that I targeted during the introduction stage. I would go for a wider networks. For example, from metros, I will be going into tier 2 and tier 3 towns. I will be increasing my product presence. And as far as promotion is concerned, now because people have started to buy the particular product, they know what the particular product is and I do not have to create awareness, but I have to address to a broader audience, because I want to not innovators alone to buy my particular product, I want other people also to buy my product. So, I have to aim at a broader audience. So, the next stage, as we have seen, it is the maturity stage. So, what happens during this particular stage? So, at the maturity stage, my competition starts to grow and my sales growth also starts to diminish, as you have seen earlier. So, competition, what they will do, they will be having similar products, and so my main objective at this particular point of time is going to be to define my market share. How am I going to preserve my market share, because the number of competition has come in is going to be on the higher side. So, I should be able to differentiate my product in such a way that I will be able to stand out among the crowd, because the competition is going to be high, there is going to be high number of products, cheaper products and even higher quality products. So, I should be able to establish something there to make myself outstand out. So, what will I do? I will be having enhanced product features to differentiate my product from competitors. So, I have to establish clearly this is different, it can be anything, it can be the quality of the product or some feature that makes this product unique. So, I have to enhance my product. So, in order to say that this is different, this is not the same thing that everyone else is selling. My product is different, so buy my particular product. I am the market leader in that particular product. Okay. So, pricing will be lower, even though I have a previous stages I was enjoying the sales growth, I was enjoying the market share. So, I was enjoying the revenue. This time, since the competition is high, what will I do? I will have to give offers, I will have to reduce my price in order to stand relevant in that particular time frame. Okay. So, price will be lower because of new competition and distribution becomes more intensive. I will give offers to my distribution network, because other people also will be, other products will also be using the same distribution network. So, what I will do? I will be giving incentives to the shop owners, the distribution centers. So, I will be encouraging them to sell my product rather than sell someone else's product, because they are not going to be exclusive retailers, they are going to sell different kinds of product in the same arena. So, what I will have to do? I will have to make my product lucrative for them in order to make my product sell rather than them suggesting a different product. This you would have seen when you buy any product. When you go to a shop, ask for a product, what product they have more offers, what product they have more profit, that is the product they are going to sell. They are not going to sell a product that is giving low revenue to them. So, what I will do? I will give incentives to my distribution network, distribution centers, and I will encourage them to sell my product rather than sell someone else's product. Okay. And here the emphasis is going to be, promotion aspect is going to be, emphasis is going to be on product differentiation rather than anything else. I will say this is my product is new, this is different. So, buy my particular product. So, that is going to be my promotional aspect. The last stage is, as we have seen earlier, the decline stage. So, here as the name suggests, the sales starts to decline and the firm has to decide what they are going to do. As a company, as a marketer, I have to decide whether I am going to continue with that particular product, whether I am going to re-innovate that particular product, or I am going to rebrand it, or what I am going to do. Okay. I told you about earlier thing about the purpose, specific purpose. Okay. Here is a stage where we decide what we are going to do with that particular product, whether I can repurpose it to something else. Okay. So, whether I can a product that was launched for example for using telephone, it can be repurposed to do you something else. A car that was used earlier on can be repurposed to the taxi market. For example, Desire, all major car manufacturers do that. Before once they come to a new product, what they do, they repurpose the older product to a different market, to cater to a different market. Okay. So, I can either maintain the product by possibly renovating it or rejuvenating it with new features and finding new users or new customers for that particular product, or I can harvest the product by reducing the cost. I can continue to offer that particular product. This is what Ambassador did during its last days, because they had developed the developmental cost and every other cost was 0. Whatever they are manufacturing, they were earning a profit, small amount also they were earning a profit. So, what they did, they catered to that niche market for as long as they could. Even if they sold 100 cars, they made a profit. So, they were selling it for a niche particular market. As niche market is a small market where they are loyal customers. They would have been early adopters who are having a nostalgia feeling towards that particular product, and they tend to buy that particular product. So, I can harvest the product and sell as long as I can till the last customer where I can sell. I will be selling it because there is no developmental cost. And the last thing I can do is I can discontinue the product and liquidate, and I can sell off my particular brand to another person. Normally, all major companies go for the first one. They try to rejuvenate that particular product, they try to re-innovate that particular product and go again to the development stage and bring in as a new product. They do not let the product die by harvesting it, or they do not let the product go to competitors unless and until it has become futile to go for that particular product, to develop that particular product further. They do not do that, they go for the first stage. Okay. So, this is what is all about product life cycle and various stages in the product life cycle. Thank you.